Yeah, all right, here we go. Oh, look at that. We got Davis already waiting for us. Davis Comic Finds. What's up, buddy? We got Sith Lordly, and I'm saying hello to everybody before I even introduced us and introduced the show. I got excited seeing that there's folks waiting for us, but hey, everybody who's here, welcome, and everybody who's going to watch us on the chat later on, welcome. You guys know who it is. I'm Tallulah's Comics, and I'm here with my good buddy, AG Surfer, and my other homie, Tad Comics. And thanks for joining us for another episode of what we're going to dub Slabs, Sigs, and Contact. So it's official. I guess this is like our fourth week in a row. Is that right, guys?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. And we're really pumped to have everybody here. And we got Tat Comics, who's joining us on his way, on his drive to work. So he's a dedicated member. So thanks, Tat, for joining us on your way to work. Shout out to MVG523 in the chat. What's up, buddy? Thanks for showing up, showing support. Appreciate it. And with that being said, guys, for this week's topic, we're basically going to be going over one of my favorite topics in comics industries, and I think one of the things that's not really discussed, or maybe at least highlighted as much as it could be, and that's inkers. Very important to the creative process and to the comic book making process. Inkers, I feel, don't get enough highlighting. I don't think they get enough support. We got a lot of great inkers in the industry, and we're going to be going over some of those today. One of my favorite inkers that I've ever got the chance to meet is actually Joe Rubinstein. Joe Rubinstein has been in the industry for years, and as a Wolverine fan, Joe Rubinstein is actually really pivotal to the storyline. If you guys, 1 second, if you guys know the original comic book of Wolverine #1, that famous iconic cover where Wolverine's in the front, with a claw up and a finger up.
Yeah, nice.
This is such an iconic cover, and sure, the truth is that this is a Frank Miller pencils. Frank Miller's the one that laid down the lines for this, the original lines. But Joe Rubinstein's the one that put all of the detail in this book. So if you look closely, all the lines in Wolverine's face, the claws, the finger, the wagging of the lines right here, where he's like saying, that motion of come here. This is such an important book, especially to me as a Wolverine collector. And one of these days, I would love to get Joe Rubinstein to sign this. I've been really lucky to get him a few times. He's a local, well, not too local. He lives in California now. He lives down in LA. But he does make it up his way to Northern California, and we get to see him for a lot of the cons around here. So really excited to be talking about him. I just want to jump over because I feel like I've been talking a little bit too much.
No, you're all right.
I'm going to jump over to my brother AT and say what's up to everybody and let them know what we'll be talking about and maybe a little bit about what you think about inkers.
Yeah, I think, obviously inkers bring life to the artwork. I mean, after all the pencil work's done and the foundation's laid down, inkers come in and bring life to that artwork and really make the pages pop, move, bring it to life, so to speak. And, no one did it. I mean, one of the greats, we mentioned him before, was Joe Sinnott. So, but yeah, Rubinstein's, all these inkers, a lot of them, they don't get the credit they deserve. Terry Austin was another one he followed. Did all those John Byrne X-Men. Terry Austin was the one that inked the John Byrne stuff.
I'm going to jump over to Tat Comics just for a second before we lose them, because I know Tat's going to get into work in just a while. But Tat, just say what's up to everybody and maybe get your
what's up? I'm on location, so I ain't got no books to show. So I come in and say what's up. I gotta go to work. Yeah, there's, you're talking about inkers. Randy Amberlin was the first one I ever met. That was it's in the business of producing and help making comic books. And of course, I got to meet Joe Rubinstein one time. He's a great guy. I just didn't have my money out quick enough for him, but he was cool. He's cool. I met a lot more inkers down the road. But the one that I always loved to go and meet and talk to was Randy Amberlin. So much that Undisputed Frost stepped in to be my uncle, per se. So I have my good good speaking terms with Randy. Randy's just a down to earth guy. His artwork that he does is just beautiful. I love what he does. I mean, it was basically his inking and Mark Bagley's work on Spider-Man that got me back into really collecting. I mean, seriously got me back into collecting Spider-Man books to the point where I went out and just looked for Randy books that, any books, I call them Randy books, but any books that Randy worked on, I was grabbing because I just wanted to learn more about him, kind of said stalking him, but I wasn't stalking him. I just wanted to learn more about the man, so I go to talk to him. I would have something that would build up a conversation with him. But I don't have to worry about that anymore. Because like I said, I've gotten to know Randy now, and I think it's just an outstanding person. But I never got a chance to meet Joe Sinnott, like my brother was talking about. I wish I could. You guys can take it off me. You can go on somebody else. I just like to listen.
All right.
Thanks. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, Chad, man. Thank you so much for joining us. And I know you got to go to work today, so thanks for making the effort. Appreciate you being here.
Thanks for stopping in, bro.
All right. So, with that being said, I just wanted to highlight, like I said, and like IG was sharing, is basically inkers a lot of times they set the tone of the book, they set the mood, they can set the pacing for the book. They're drawing all the details, and you know what they all say, the devil's in the details. So everything that you see that you grow to love about this artwork, the fine little minute details, when something's off, a lot of times it's the inker's fault, but they don't get the credit they deserve for making things right a lot of times. So we're here to highlight some of those guys today. Some famous inker, pencil and inker teams that we can think of. There's always Mike Zeck and John Beatty. Let's see, how about Joe Quesada and Jimmy Palmiotti? AG, you got any others you can think of?
Like I just said earlier, is John Byrne, Terry Austin.
Yep, that's a great one.
I mean, Joe Sinnott and sorry about that. Joe Sinnott and of course Jack Kirby.
Even Kirby and Ayers. Kirby and Ayers were a great team for a long time.
Yeah, Kirby had a lot of anchors as well. I mean, on a lot of different books. I think Chick Stone was another one on some of the early X-Men.
Oh yeah, definitely. Did you have any? Did you mention? Did you have any Beatty with you?
No, I don't think I have anything that's graded by Beatty. And I don't have any. I have the raw books, but they're not with me.
I have one. If you don't mind, I'm going to show really quickly.
Oh yeah, go for it. Sure, I gotta.
So I'm going to show a copy of. This is Captain America Annual number 8. It's just a really great cover. As we know, it's done by Mike Zeck. However, if you didn't know, John Beatty was the inker with Mike Zeck for years and years and years. So adding a lot of those details, a lot of those lines. And I actually found this book at my local comic shop, and I want to say I picked it up for $15, and it was already signed by Mike Zeck and John Beatty right up here. So, unfortunately, since I've never met the gentleman, at least I got to pick up this book, and I got it on the cheap. So what I did was I sent it into CBCS to get the authentication, and it didn't come in as high a grade as I could have hoped for. And I do notice some things now. It was before I started pressing books myself. If I ever wanted to, I could probably crack it out and press it and give it a nice little grade bump. But I'm just happy to have something in my collection that's not only signed by Mike Zeck, but also by John Beatty, and it came back authenticated and verified. So I was really happy to get this.
Yeah,
look at that. I'll just say really quickly, we got Amazing Murphinator in the chat. What's up, Murph? How's it going? Are you gonna be joining us, buddy? We're waiting on you. So I just wanted to show also really quickly, I do have another copy of this. Even though I didn't get to meet John Beatty in person, I did get to meet Mike Zeck in person, and I had him sign this copy for me. And again, Captain America Annual number 8, and this one came back on 9/6, so it was cool to go ahead and meet him. And Murph, man, dude, check your phone, dude. I did send the link. It's on your phone, buddy. Check it, man. So it was cool to go ahead and meet him. Who did you want to show right now, AG?
I can show. Yeah, before we get into Rubinstein, because Rubinstein is probably going to be I'm sure, a pretty big collection.
I got quite a
let me recap a few episodes back when Tab was talking about the issue I had like with the second time meeting Stan Lee and first time using paint pens. And
Oh, absolutely.
How I got two books mixed up, or they bumped into each other. This is before you cut out the bags and boards or make the window bags and boards in your comics. I didn't know about that then. This is when you fully take a comic book out of the bag and board, you lay it down on the table, you hand it over to the gentleman signing your book, and then it moves from there. It's a raw book, right? So, yeah, the issue I had was with an ASM 194 and a Secret Wars number 8 were the two books. The first time using these paint pens that my buddy gave me, let me check out, and said they work really nice but take time to dry. The handler at the time there was a room, the Stan Lee table, they're just hashing the books. They're slinging them across. And there was 4 of us. It was my buddy and one of the gals that he was with, then myself, and then my buddy's daughter. We're all getting books signed. So my buddy goes through, and I only had 3 books. The 3 books to get signed by Stan Lee, so I wasn't thinking it was going to be an issue for me to grab my books and handle them. So as I set my books down to get signed, the first book that Stan Lee signs is, and it's in a Mylar, is Secret Wars number 8. And let's see, I already had Mike Zeck. Actually, I get Mike Zeck on it that day as well. Came back in 9/6. There's Mike Zeck in like the white paint pen. I don't know if my volume's good.
No, you're great. Your volume's just fine. Honestly, I'm just sitting here and.
No, cool. I just want to double check. And then Stan Lee, and this is the first time using the blue paint pen, and I was again discovering the paint pens. So my buddy handed them to me. This signature is a little smudged at the base. It turns out I think I might have. There was like I think because Stan Lee, after he signed, he touched it and then moved the book.
Yeah.
So I got a little like thumbprint of Stan Lee. So that's where Tal was joking about having some DNA from Stan because I got like a thumbprint.
Yeah, that's got to be worth more, right?
Yeah. So Stan, the guy moves the book after Stanley just moves it, puts it aside, and then reaches up for the other book. And I didn't notice this, until later how the signature looked. It was kind of that it got like a little print. But so Stanley he didn't sling it. Stanley just moves it. So I'm like, I'm not thinking much of it because I'm like, okay, let me focus on this next book. And they asked someone before. And I got this label way later when I got Marv Wolfman on it. Marv Wolfman right here. And that was at Portland, Wizard World. Probably, I think I want to say Wizard World in Portland. But the Stanley's, again, down at the base. Again, another smudge, another thumbprint, from Stan Lee. But this is where this book, so he signs it, he puts this aside. But as I go to look for my other book, the guy like just kind of like fling it down the table, and then he grabs this. I'm like, hey, and the guy just slides this one again, and my ASM 194 great goes on top of this one, kind of slings.
Oh no!
Because on the back of this book, it's got a little. You see the blue ink?
Yeah, just a little bit.
194 on the ASM 194, you got the blue ink.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, and I tried to get down there, and these were the 2 books. He signed in a 3rd one, and I'm like, oh man, I just want to make sure, So I see these 2 books slide, and the freaking ASM 194 goes and lays on top of my freaking Secret Wars 8. At this point, I go down there, but my buddy's gal that was down there, and I've told her this before, but a great big thanks goes out to Sandy that was there with us that day because she notices the books getting slinged down the table. She takes my books apart quick. So when I looked down there, I was about to grab them, but I noticed she's like, I got them. Let me, she just gently separates them. But the damage had been done with the 194.
I'm actually really surprised that you got as good a grade as you did on those. I'll let you know. So Murph, if you see Murph's comment down in the chat, he says live and die by the paint pen, and that's right. Oh, yeah. and that's right. You live and die by the paint pen. And something similar happened to me with who was it? With Bill Sinkovich, and he uses that really nice white paint pen. I had him do it with a red paint pen. Same exact thing that happened to you. A red ink transferred onto the bottom back page of another book that laid on top of it. But bro, my 2 books came back 7.5s.
Yeah, this actually came back in 8.5, so I was a little bummed because I figured this thing would get in the 9s. But because of the ink and whatnot, I was like, oh crap. And so I just left it in 8.5 for a year or two. And then when I met Marv Wolfman at Wizard Portland Con, that's when I submitted again. I was able to, I got the label, the Stanley label. I'm overlooking this book, and the gal was like, I'm like, do you think a press and clean would help? And she's like, it couldn't hurt. So that's when I did the press and clean, and I was surprised to see it come back in 9.2.
Yeah, I'm surprised that it came back that high. Good for you.
Yeah, extremely stoked for that. So yeah, this is just crazy stuff with those paint pens. You really got to be careful,
Yeah, you do. Really quickly, now I noticed that we're being joined by our homie from the East Coast, amazing Murphinator. So let me highlight Murph to say hello to everybody out there.
Hi guys, how are you? What's up? Thanks for having me on, Chewy.
Yeah, he's joining us
again.
He's joining us East Coast time, guys.
Yeah, what time is it? 9:19. Yeah. Showed up late like the Warriors. Showing up late like the Warriors.
It's all good. It's all good. You're here, and we're glad to have you here, brother.
No, thank you.
Shit. All right. So
what are we talking about? Inkers?
Yeah, your favorite topic, inkers.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Since you brought it up last week, it was definitely a great way to discuss info this week. It was about inkers.
You brought it up last week?
Yeah. Toward the end of the show.
Ellis drunk.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Shit. All right. Yeah. Huh? I did see. So you guys were talking about Beatty? I saw that earlier.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about Beatty. We introduced some Rubinstein, which we're going to get to in a little while. It's just I have a pretty good amount of Rubinstein, so I'm not going to get to them just yet. But yeah.
Got a fat
All right, I'll jump in that foray there.
All right.
Put me on the big screen, will you, Chewy?
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, there. So we're talking about Rubinstein. Again, live and die by the paint pen. Sometimes it comes out awesome, and here's a perfect example, in my opinion. You got Zek down here, you got Beatty right here, and then Rubinstein going right down.
Oh, wow.
Perfect placement, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Kind of matches. It pops, but it blends with the book. It's only an 8.0. That's not a big deal. It's just the cover was awesome.
Best cover.
And I think it's a good representation of what we're kind of talking about right here. So you have the artist and the colorist and the inker probably at the same time on this one book right here.
Well,
I know.
You know what, Murph? Actually, you just reminded me because I just got done showing that book because I have one where it's Beatty and Zek. But you know what? What it actually is Beatty inked the cover with Zek, and Rubinstein inked the interiors. That you just reminded me. I forgot that Rubinstein even inked the interiors on that. But that's dope. You got a triple sign. That's amazing.
Triple sign.
Badass.
Then this one here, this Avengers 196. It's a low grade 5. But you got Perez there, and then you got Rubinstein or Steen. Is he Steen or is he a Stein?
I believe he's Stein.
Rubinstein.
All right.
Do I say Rubinstein?
Is it Rubinstein? I don't know. You know what it is? Honestly, let me tell you something. The first time, I'm embarrassed to say that the first time I met him, I asked him.
Stein.
I said, hey, is it Steen or Stein? And he told me, and I fucking forgot, guys.
Rubinstein.
He told me, and I forgot.
All right. So, that one there.
All right. Me and my buddy, Mario, we just call him Ruby for short.
Yeah.
Ruby, right?
You can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with Ruby.
Yeah.
It's like calling Steranko Jimmy.
Yep.
Right. Now, an inker versus is not really a colorist, right? No, that would be something different.
No, yeah, the inker is gonna. So you got your main artist who's laying down pencil lines.
Yep.
Your inker is going over those pencil lines with inks and adding all the detail into it.
Okay. All right. Another guy who's probably done a little bit of both, in my opinion, either been the main artist or the colorer, or excuse me, the inker. Al Milgrom himself right
Oh,
here.
yeah. Oh, for sure.
You know, John Romita Jr. cover when Romita Jr. could draw really well. And with Al Milgrom down there at the bottom with the paint pen.
Yeah.
Wait, guys, not to cut this short, but I'm at work. I got to go to work. But man, it's been a blast hearing you guys talk. But the other thing I was going to say, which I forgot to mention, is a lot of the artists that we like today, they all started off as inkers. Most of them did, and progressed from being an inker to moving up, higher to actually being the artist itself, or even becoming writers. I got many of books where I've seen, oh gosh, Todd McFarlane doing inking over, I can't think of his name right now. Not Mark, but I'll be better prepared next week. But I just want to say keep that in mind too. So it's great to see when you got these artists nowadays where they started off from and where they're at now. Everybody rock on. I got to get to work. Stay safe out there.
You stay safe.
All right,
I'll see you, Teddy.
Safe, man.
Hey, Murph. Doing a great job, brother. It's good to see you on here.
Thanks, man. All right, mask up.
Hey, just the tip. Just the tip.
That's going to be a catchphrase, huh?
Later.
Yeah,
Later.
Excellent point by Tat Comics, though. I that's something that gets overlooked as well. Yeah, a lot of these guys start off as inkers for some of the bigger artists, the pencil artists, and then later on, graduate on to being, these big name cover artists, highly sought after cover artists themselves.
For sure, definitely.
What else you got for us there, Murphy boy?
Well, I got a bunch of shit up there on the shelf, but more Roger. Was it Ron Friends or was it Roger Stern? Ron Friends would be another example of
Ron
an
Friends
inker.
is another great, yeah.
Right. I just don't want to go and get them all down.
That's someone I missed out on, and I wish I could have got. I think what was it on ASM? I think I have it here somewhere. On my 252. I wish
252 is a good one for Ron Friends.
So I got Danny Fingerroth on here and Milgram.
Yeah. Oh, Milgram. Okay. Yep. You can get Roger Stern, Brett Reading, or Ron Friends on that as well.
Ron Friends, yeah. Oh, is this a 252 party?
Oh, let's see. What do you got? Let's see your 252. Oh, nice. 9A, you mother.
I purchased the book. This was actually, what was this? This was maybe a year before I actually met Stan Lee. I freaking got online and purchased this book signed by
nice.
Stan Lee.
Oh, so, beautiful.
I mean, this is my first Stan Lee Sig. And actually, first Stan Lee signature, and it definitely in first graded comic that was with his autograph. And so I was really stoked with this. But yeah, to add some more autographs would be nice.
That's really nice. Yeah. Hey, Murph, can you? Now you're bringing out your.
Yeah, look at that blue, baby. That thing is beautiful.
How many you got on there? What do you got? Who all do you have on there?
Just Friends, Breeding, and Stern. Klaus Johnson would be someone else I can get on there. You said Fingeroff.
Yeah.
But usually those guys, sometimes they don't get the credit, on CGC case. You might find it on the interior of the book.
Exactly. It's on the interior.
To find out who did what. But yeah, that's my favorite paint pen right there, and it came out really good.
Man,
so
Davis has one exactly like this too.
Oh, Davis,
yeah. He said it was a 9.4, but now he's correcting himself and says it's a 9.2. He was trying to give himself a little grade bump.
I guess. I guess he says it was a 9.4 and it became a 9.2, and he blames Murph.
Oh shoot!
I remember taking my backpack and I was exhausted. And I just dropped it onto the ground, so it could have been.
Yeah, it could have been that. Could have been that time. Yeah.
I think you tripped on it too on your way over, right? Didn't you step on it and trip on it?
Yeah. It was in a puddle too. It was rainy that day. It was tough.
Hey, would you mind showing your Cap Annual 8 one more time? I want to see Rubinstein's humongous signature on there one more time.
Yeah, sure.
So for those of you guys who haven't met Rubinstein, I don't know, Ruby. For those of you guys who haven't met Ruby before, the guy has a huge signature. Check it out. Let's see if Murph can show it there. It starts at above Wolverine's mask, goes all the way across Cap's chest,
down the center of the book. Yeah,
down to his groin, down to Cap's groin, from his chest to his groin. and Rubinstein, he's funny because the more room you leave him, the more room he's going to take up with
He'll
that signature.
for sure.
But the converse of that, the cool thing about that is every time I've met him, he's been cool enough to just, I'm usually prepared. I got my window bags, I got my boards, I got what color I want to use. He's actually really cool about that. He'll keep his signature confined to whatever small space you leave him. Once in a great while, he'll tell you, hey, that's a little bit too small for me. But for the most part, he's never made me take a book out. The only thing is he does like to add the date. Some artists do that, some do not.
Put the year on there.
I want to show, if I can, you guys, the first Rubinstein signature I ever got, and it was actually on a commission piece. Murph, you missed the very beginning of the show, but I started talking about how I first found out about Ruby and what my favorite piece by him ever was. And it's this one here. You know, as a Wolverine fan, it's Wolverine #1. So the first time I met him, I was like, oh my God, you're him. You're the one that did that. And we struck up a conversation. He's really cool. You know what? Damn, I should have worn my hat. I actually have a Wolverine hat that he signed for. Yeah. And that's actually the first signature that he ever gave me. He didn't charge me anything. He just said, no problem. He's all, that's my artwork. Of course you get my signature on there. So that was the first thing he ever signed for me. But the second thing the first book he ever signed for me was Death of X #1. And I asked him, I said, hey, could you do a commission piece, something similar to this? He said, listen, the only thing I can't do is I'm not going to remake that cover. I can't do it exactly how you want it. He goes, I just will not exactly redo the cover. I said, that's not a problem. I go, listen to me. This is a Death of X book. So Death of X, I was thinking, I said, would you do the same pose, the same type of cover, but instead of Wolverine, would you do it as Old Man Logan? He says, yeah, sure, no problem. So this is what I got done.
That's badass. Wow.
Yeah, I was really, really pumped. I was really excited for this. It did come back in 8.5, but I don't care at all. I really don't. Like, the thing about Rubinstein, he works in inks. So if you look at the back of the book, I don't know if you guys can see, the whole thing is smudged with ink.
Yeah, it's filthy.
Yeah, that's his work. He's a little sloppy when it comes to the back. You know, he doesn't care. But look at this front cover. Look at this artwork. This is pristine. Look at the detail, the line work. Like, how close is that to this? But obviously, it's Old Man Logan, not Wolverine.
Right.
You know?
Oh, that's a beautiful piece. Yeah.
So you think he stated that he couldn't reproduce it exactly because it's more of a Frank Miller's art? Like he didn't want to have to go and go in case you sold it or something like that, have his name that, may not pay any homage to Frank Miller.
That's a good point. It was the first time I met him, so I never even occurred to me to ask why. When you go and see him, right at his booth, he has a huge banner of this artwork up front, right? Because everybody recognizes it. So he has a huge banner of that. But right off the bat, when I asked him, hey, can you do something similar to that? He goes, I can. He's all, I just won't reproduce it. He didn't say I can't. He just said, I won't.
Well, okay.
And I just took it as, oh, no problem. I want something similar,
Yeah. I think yours is better than the original anyways. It's just cooler.
This is like, as far as my commission pieces go, my custom pieces go, this is like the first one I ever got, and it's my crown jewel. Like, this is my favorite one. He asked if I wanted any colors done. I said, no, I'll take black and white because you're an inker and I respect the craft. I wanted to see the black and white. He added the red in himself. He didn't ask, he just did it. And red's my favorite color, guys. It's the color of blood. Of course, it's coming from the claws. I was freaking stoked. I was blown away. It was great.
Bloods.
And I didn't. The thing about that book too is I only got to go ahead from work to go one day to the con. I had to work that following Sunday. So he asked me. He said, are you coming back tomorrow? I said, no, I can't. He goes, all right, I'll have it done by the end of the day on Saturday. I come around on Saturday, it wasn't done. It wasn't done, so I was freaking out. Luckily, my buddy was going on Sunday, so we worked it out, and he said, don't worry about it. I'll give it to your buddy first thing in the morning, and he did. He worked on it through the night and had it first thing ready for him first thing in the morning. So I'm at work, and my buddy's texting me pictures of this, and I'm just sitting there super stoked, like, man, what am I going to – I want this. I want it already. But
Very cool.
yeah, it was cool. He did to CBTS for me and got the grade it did. So what is that? Who's there's some weird background noise going on.
What is that noise? Yeah. Is that me?
Are you typing or something? Yeah, it's gone.
No, there it is. Huh. Oh, it's gone.
If you guys don't let me just I want to finish showing off the rest of my commissions with for Ruby.
Yeah.
So I got really stoked by this cover. I've always liked that pose, you know, of the paws up and the fingers from here, right? So
yeah.
I had an idea to do like all of Wolverine's family and foes in that same way. So the very next book that I had him do was an X-23, kind of in a similar way. And the same thing, kind of claws up. He did it a little sideways, and he added the blood afterwards. So I was happy with this one. This is Laura Kenny X-23 on the brand new All Wolverine #1. And I learned my lesson from the first time with the grade. Instead of getting it graded, I just had it slabbed as art. And if you look on the back, he did the same thing. There is some staining here and here. So I think I made the right choice by going ahead and doing the inks on this one. I mean, doing the slabbed as art. The next one that I got done by him was an Old Man Logan book, and it's Saber Tooth. And this is like 90s Saber Tooth, you know, X-Men 92 version Saber Tooth. Same thing, claws up, bloody, lots of detail, lots of fur, sharp teeth. So I was really happy to get this one done by him too.
That's really nice.
The last book that I'll show really quickly is Origin #2. And I actually bought this one off eBay. It's Origin #2, and I used one of those slab yourself kits. And this is like original Wolverine, old school Wolverine. So I was happy to get this one. I didn't have this one commissioned personally. I just found it on eBay and got a great price on it.
Nice.
So that's what I got for Ruby right now. Who's up? Who's next? Who wants to talk to Ruby?
I'll show off some Rubinstein. Ruby. Yeah, Cholula, I'm not sure if that was your mic. It seemed to happen every time you were talking, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump out and I'll jump back in. I'm gonna highlight you for now, and I'll be right back, bro.
All right, we'll see how it goes. If it gets
okay.
Better. Yeah, let's see. I'll show off. Let me show off the first couple of books I got by Rubinstein. Let's see. I did pretty much the same thing when I first met him. I actually got him to sign my Wolverine issues, the miniseries 1 through 4. And I submitted those off. I don't have those with me now, so that's why I'm not gonna be able to show the 1 through 4 miniseries with Rubinstein's autograph on it. But yeah, I got him to do a sketch for me because I think I want to say at the time he was charging like $60 to do like a head sketch. And my buddy was getting one done, and I thought, why not? You know, I mean, it's Rubinstein, and he's known for the Wolverines. So Wolverine, this is an old Wolverine #1. Came back. Let's see, came back in 9/2.
Oh wow!
Oh, that's really nice.
I got him doing the yellow paint pen. Oh, damn it! Darn it! There it is. So yeah, he puts the year, you know, or whatever on there. Yeah, it turns out the deal behind this is I give him the comic book. And Rubinstein has he's got a portfolio, and he says you could choose from any of these images. I'll do it if you just want a character, I can do something for you. Or you choose from the images I have on the table, and I'll put it down in the book. And the one I was looking at was it wasn't Wolverine with a cigarette. I wanted the one where he had like Wolverine in his claws, and he was like Wolverine was looking up with his mouth wide open. He looked really pissed, and you can see his teeth. And Wolverine's like just yelling with his claws. I was like, oh yeah, that's the one I want. That's badass. And I come back to the table a couple hours later, And I'm like, oh, so did you get the sketch? Yeah, checking to see if the sketch got done. Oh yeah, here you go. And I'm like, and he gives me, he just gives me like it's on a piece of art. It's just like he just pulled the one out of on it that he had on display. It's just on archival tape or a tape paper. It's on just like sketch the nice paper they used to do sketches. Yeah. And I was like, I'm sorry, Mr. Rubinstein. I actually handed you a comic book. I wanted it done in a book. And he goes, and all of a sudden I'm looking, I'm like, I think that's the book. He was just finishing this one up, and he goes, oh. He goes, well, I guess you got your choice. If you could you want the comic or you want the image? It's like, I'll take my book, please.
Yeah, I'll take my book, dude.
I said, I really dig that image, but hopefully I'll get that some other time. But I was like, I got to go for the book. And it was still, I really wanted that other one, but I learned, obviously, I know I like this one a lot. I learned to like this one. And then especially when I had him go with the yellow.
Yep. Right, very cool.
So yeah, really stoked with this book. And the only other sketch I got from him, we brought him an image of, is that ASM, what is that, 692 or 694? Joe Quinones variant, but Joe Quinones variant cover of MJ, Venom MJ coming through the door.
Oh yeah.
I think that's I don't know if that's 692 or 694. So that book being real expensive, we just handed him the image, like we had it printed out from the computer. And I was like, hey, can you recreate this on an ASM for me? So this was Joe Sinnott's take on the MJ, taken over by Venom, originally done by Joe Quinones on the variant.
You said this is Sinnott? This is Sinnott's take or Ruby's?
Ruby, sorry.
All right. I was like, holy shit, you got him to do that. Wow.
Hey, apparently to be an inker, you got to be named Joe.
Yeah, that's what it is. So ASM number 1, it was the blank variant, and I got him. And then this is Rubinstein's version of MJ. And he did that.
Cool.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So this one is like, again, I was like, oh, this is very cool because his ink work is unmatched or whatever. I mean, he's definitely got a nice style about him.
Yeah.
So, those are the 2 I got by Rubinstein as far as sketches go. The rest are all on comics. But,
yeah. All right.
Well,
cool.
Your mic sounds better, Cholula.
Does it? Is it better? Hopefully. Oh, now it's doing it again.
A little bit.
Oh well, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
All right. Got a couple more. Well, actually, Murph, do you have something you want to show?
Yeah, I got 2 more Rubinstein or
nice.
Rubies. 2 more Rubies. ASM 269 and 270. As a kid, it was my favorite storyline, 2-issue storyline. I just loved it. It's got Firelord on here, and again, the Rubinstein or Steen all the way down Firelord's blast.
All the way down.
He takes the whole spot, and then Shooter. And then here's an example of 2 Mike.
Nice.
I did that. And then the other one, 270 right here. And so he chooses where he wants to go. So he looks for the action detail where it's going down right here, the swipe. And that's where he signed it right there. And then Shooter up there as well.
Very cool.
I like the fact that, Peter didn't have the alien symbiote at this time. He was just wearing the black costume. And he beat the piss out of Firelord. I just thought that was incredible. It was awesome.
Oh yeah. That goes to show you how bad Spidey is, man.
Right. And then if you want to look at it, well, go ahead. Sorry, AG.
Oh no, that was Chula.
Oh, I was just gonna say really quickly, hello to a couple guys in the chat. 4-way flashers.
Let's go to the chat. Let's pay some bills.
And Gomez Kyle, we ain't got no bills and we ain't got no ads on my channel. Just saying what's up to the guys that come out to support us. What's up with 4-way and what's up Gomez. Thank you guys for coming out to join us. Even though my mic sucks today.
Yeah, something's up. Maybe the connection or something weird.
But lastly, on my Rubinstein or Stein, or he's been writing big and all that. But like you said, Chewy, if you give him The host has unmuted. All right, fine. If you give him less space to work, then he'll do what you want. So if you look right here, Joe Rubinstein right there, that's all the spot he had. When I handed him this book, I had majority of these autographs already on here, and he's like, he was almost like, fuck, where am I going to sign? You know, he was just not sure where to go. And I said, well, you know, what about right down here? And he's like, yeah. So
Cool.
I'm sure he wanted to go like from here all the way down or something like that. You know, if I handed it to him first, but
if he had a yellow paint pen, he signs right through the S, right in that big chunk of the
yes,
S.
exactly. You would try something like that, but yeah,
Little man.
that's it.
That's an awesome book right there, Murph. How many Sigs do you have on that one?
I've got Roger Stern, Jerry Ordway, David Michelini, Joe Rubinstein, Barry Kitson, Bob McLeod, Ron Friends, Brett Breeding, who colored the S, Garcia Lopez, George Perez, and Dan Jurgens.
So is that 11? Did I count right?
11.
Yeah.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep.
11.
And I could still get Louis Simonson. I could get John Byrne, I suppose. John Bognoff. I don't know who that guy is, but he's credited with it. And he was actually going to be at East Coast this past year. So I was excited to get Luis and John Bognoff is or something to kind of fill it up. I doubt I'll ever get John Byrne on here. So yeah.
That would be a tough one to get on there.
Very nice.
That's about it, really, for Rubinstein. You know, now the thing, you know, if he goes to a con, now you guys showed your sketches and you got me Jonesing or something like that. You know, especially if they're reasonable. Like, I'm not going to spend $300 for a sketch. I'm not going to do it. But I might be. You can twist my arm for $100, $1.25 or something like that. Especially if it comes out quality like that, like Chewy's and yours.
$150.
Yeah. Okay.
150. Yeah.
150.
You could twist my arm for that. So now it's you know, with grading and all that, it's $175 book. Yeah, that fucking mic is pissing me off. I wonder if it's me.
Maybe check yours, Murph. Hey, Chewy, is on your sketches, what year was that he did them on your on that one there?
So the first one that he did for me, this one, he did back in 2017.
Oh, okay. And that was 180 for the sketch.
The price?
Yeah, the price.
150.
Oh, 150. Okay, back in 2017.
Yeah. And then in 2019, I think he wanted to charge me 160 a piece.
Okay.
But since I got both at the same time, I was like, "Come on, do it for 300." And he was like, "All right, fine."
Oh, okay. No, yeah,
I got both of these at the same time.
All right, so you bargained.
Yeah, I was thinking about, so it's good you could bargain with him now because I did mine back in 2014. Like I said, I think just for these because he had it listed at the time. That's 2014. I think there were $60 a piece.
Well, the other thing about that,
those prices are going to change, right? As the years go on, they can,
So not only are the prices going to change, but the other thing about that, and it's important for everybody to know, is if you approach an artist and have your own original idea, he's gonna probably charge you a little bit more. But there are some artists that actually keep blank sketch books that are already completed, and they'll charge you a little bit less. And I actually have a good example of that. I also met. Let me show you right here. I met Ron Wilson at a con a few years back. And he had this just chilling on his table. I asked him how much he wanted for a sketch, and he said about $80, but he charged me $40 for this because it was already done.
Oh yeah, very cool.
And it came back
got no time. You know, he's already invested the time. Sure.
Yeah.
And it came back at 9.8. So why not?
Yeah, that's a great example of a great thing to mention there too. As you say, like go to the artist table. He already have some books done up with the sketches on them. If you find something you like, it's probably cheaper, and then you could pick it up, go submit it. But actually, you'd want to go probably grab the witness, bring him to the table, and say, "I'm purchasing this," so you can get that yellow label. if
But
you're going to
see,
submit it.
that's where I have the advantage because I'm my own witness.
You do. Yeah, definitely. But obviously, the beauty of picking up that right at his table, you're
Yep.
done. You're pretty much done for the day. As opposed to, when you turn something in, you want to turn it in at the beginning of the friggin' con, or you want, early at the con, because you're gonna try to pick it up at the end of the day. Or obviously, if you're coming back the next day, you can grab it the next day possibly, because depending on if they finish it or not, the first day. But yeah, this way you don't have to come back to the table and ask them, hey, are you done with that sketch yet? Just checking. It's been a couple hours. So there's all
Yeah,
those
you
options.
did that, AG. When you and I were in line for Sean Murphy, I think it was at Rhode Island Con, and he had some pre-signed books, and I had the CGC guy with me, and you're like, "Does this count?" And he's like, "Yeah, definitely it counts." And you're like, "All right, man." I don't think you had any Sean Murphy books to have him signed personally, So you're like, "Yeah, I want to get this book. I want to get, it's cool, it's dope, whatever it was." I remember that.
Man, what is that? That's the Batman. Dang it, that was the Batman Joker book or something. That one that came out. That was I forgot the title, but yeah, the Sean Murphy had done, and those were great. Those were great stories. Like the story Flip Flop.
Was it White Knight? Batman White Knight series.
Batman White Knight. Yeah, good stuff. So I have some more Sinnott. I want to keep thinking Sinnott. I'm on that Joe kick. Joe Rubinstein. I got some more Joe Rubinstein.
Oh, nice.
I also have the Avengers 196. This came back a while back from Desert Storm. I submitted this to Desert Wind, but AKA Desert Storm at East Coast Comic Con. They got the George Perez on here for me, and they got Rubinstein. I asked for Rubinstein, so it came back. Hasn't been pressed and clean. I got the Avengers label. Came back a 7.5. So I got the George Perez up top. Rubinstein off the cape.
Yep. Michelin.
And then, that was a nice prize. That was a beautiful surprise. I didn't ask for Michelin. I didn't even know that. So they must have picked him up at a different con, obviously, because he wasn't, he wasn't there at ECC and he wasn't there in Vegas. So I don't know where they got him somewhere else. But I'll take it.
Wow. Yeah. Didn't pay for it. You'll take it.
Exactly. I didn't get charged for it, so I'll take it. And then this was Infinity Gauntlet number 4. And this is me going to Vegas chasing down Perez. I get Perez on it. And then Ron Lim is there. Starlin's there. And Rubinstein are there. And I'm like, okay, I got to do this. Again, I get the Avengers label on it again. Came back a 6.5. I want to say this got pressed and cleaned. But I don't, I was all about the Sigs. I didn't care about the grade necessarily. But I did, I did the Ron Lim. The Aqua.
My favorite cover in that series. That's my favorite cover in that series.
Let's see. Joe Starlin's over here. He's a little, it's a nice little in there tight signature.
Yep.
I think this was like a gold pen. Then I got Rubinstein on that copper or on the bronze. So it's a little different. And Rubinstein's really nice. I like saying Rubinstein. That one's nice. Other books, I got a stack. You got any more Rubinstein books, Chula?
I got 6 more.
Okay, let's see. That's what I got, bro. I got 6.
I can't wait to see that one that you have, Chewy.
Yeah, I'm
gonna sketch in the corner. I think.
Well, I'm gonna tell Murph's favorite story real quick.
Yeah.
So I go down to East Coast Comic Con and I have my set of Infinity Gauntlet 1 through 6, and I'd already had them slabbed because at SF Con I got to meet Jim Starlin and I believe Ron Lim. So I had them 2 times signed.
Yeah, Ron Lim was there.
So at East Coast Comic Con we get to meet Rubinstein as well as George Perez. Yep. So now I'm adding to some of these books a 3rd signature or even a 4th signature. So here's my Infinity Gauntlet number 1 with Starlin, Perez. Shoot, I can't even see. Rubinstein's here in silver. And Ron Lim doesn't come in until like book 3 or 4. And it came back a 9.4. Happy with that. Beautiful book. 3 times signed. Love it. issue number 2, Starlin, Perez, Rubinstein down here in silver. Came back a 9.4. Beautiful book. Happy with it.
Yeah.
Number 3, 9.8 with Starlin, Rubinstein, and Perez down here. Came back a 9.8. Couldn't be happier, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to skip number 4 really quickly.
All right.
Here's number 5. I got Starlin. Ron Lim's here in the corner. Here's Perez. And Rubinstein is here in silver. 4 signatures. 9.6. Happy. And here's number 6, right? All 4 of those guys. I got Starlin. Ron Lim down here. Rubinstein. And Perez in silver. The silver is kind of hard to see sometimes with the glare. But I'll tell you guys, in person, it looks really nice. 9.2. So when I originally had my Infinity Gauntlet number 4 signed, this is what happened. I got the label still. It came back in 8.0 originally. The problem was it had 2 really big, nasty fingerprints that had eaten through the black inks and turned the cover white in the shape of a fingerprint.
Oh my God.
So it came back in 8.0. And at the time, I only had Jim Starlin and Ron Lim on it, just the 2. So I go to East Coast and I add Rubinstein and I add Perez. And what I get Rubinstein to do here in the corner is he does this little corner box art. You see that Wolverine right there?
Oh man.
That's covering a big fingerprint. Here's Perez. Here's Lim. And I have Lim do a little Thanos head remark over the second fingerprint.
Oh,
Here's Starlin. I turn the book in.
Yeah.
Comes back a 9.8.
Damn.
You want to talk about a grade bump, guys? From an 8.0 to a 9.8. I was floored. I was ecstatic. That's my win of the year for that one right there.
That's straight fire.
Sure was.
Man, that's a beautiful
That's awesome.
technique, man.
And look at that. Look at that beautiful remark right there. And he charges a pretty little penny for these. I think it was like $40, maybe 50, something like that. But it's worth it. It's really worth it.
Covers up a bad. That's a definite way to go, covering up a bad mark, man. To bring that grade up, man. That's impressive.
Oh, yeah,
that's
sure.
That's a nice little trick there.
You gotta learn the tricks of the trade, guys.
Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, whenever you can get some sort of mistake or flaw covered up on your comic book by some nice little remark or artwork. Oof. Nice. That's good to know.
Yeah,
So
that was
your
awesome.
6,
That was the win of the year right there.
Your 6, yeah.
From an 8.0.
From an 8.0 to a 9.8. So that was my win of the year, guys. AG, did you say you had some more books for Ruby?
Yeah, these were books I got back in 2014 as well when I got the sketches by him. X Factor number 1, 9.8, and Ruben Red. That's,
nice, very nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, really happy with that one. Then I got let's see what else. Oh, I got let's see 2 others. Let's see. Try to go in order here. X Factor number 2, and this one, X Factor number 2, 8.5. Rubinstein. Again, I think it's in that bronze. And then I got Zek because Zek did the cover.
Wow, so you do have other grades than 9.8 in your collection. Very cool.
Oh yeah, definitely. My lowest graded book is a 0.5.
Really?
Right, but it's from 1934.
No. I mean, it's actually the first appearance of Poison Ivy because it's all banged up and it's missing that centerpiece.
All right.
But it presents really well. I got Joe Gill on it last year. It came back at 0.5. So I knew it was gonna be low, but I didn't care. The book's So it's a good still good looking book. Presents X Factor 2. Let me go into X Factor 5. This is the cameo of Apocalypse. Yeah, it came back in 9/2. And then Rubinstein that blue right down there.
Very nice.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's weird, like you say, because sometimes he'll put a nice little autograph. Or he'll put the year on there as well. He did that with my here with my X Factor number 6. And this one might be tougher to see. I think this was in a bronze as well. He signed at the bottom of this one. He signed at the very bottom of this X Factor issue. I don't know. It's right. That bronze didn't really. Oh, they're sort of 14. Oh. Let's see. Oh. Yeah, it's kind of it's right at the bottom. 14 Rubinstein.
Looks nice.
And then the last one again, X Factor. It's number 6. 8. This one came back in 8/5.
Oh, nice.
But that blue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The way you looked it in there, man, that was really, really cool. Yeah. And I didn't
that
have
blue pops.
I didn't have any windows, and I didn't have any. These were raw books. I just handed them, so I got lucky too. With I was looking at his hands. Sometimes Rubinstein has you see the ink on his hands. You're like,
yep,
right.
He's grabbing your book. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, there goes those grades. But
for sure,
he's an inker, man. So you get lucky. So they were dry. It must have been dry or whatever. So
yeah. He's an inker and he's not afraid to get dirty.
Yeah.
Hey, quick shout out to the chat. We got a couple more folks that have joined us. 4-Way Flashers on comics. Azor's Tiger, who also said he's a new subscriber. So thanks, man. Thank you so much for joining us and for subscribing. I'm gonna leave links in the description to AG's channel and to Amazing Murfinator channel. Also, Amazing Collectors, great channels, pillars of the community. You get a chance, go ahead and check them out too, please, and sub them up as well. And also shout out to Comic Book Estate.
Comic Book Estate, yeah.
CBA.
What's up, buddy? What's up, buddy? We miss you, man. We miss you.
Yeah.
All right.
I've got a few more unless you want to show some stuff. I've got different artists. But if you want to go
I'm good. I'd love to see your books. Let's keep it going with your books.
So what if you're moving off Rubinstein? I don't have another Rubinstein to show, but if we're moving off of that guy, if you were to see him again, what book would you bring for the next one? What's the book you want to bring the next time you see Rubinstein? For me, I think it would have to be it'd have to be multiple people there. I would have to have Claremont there in order for me to do it, but I would probably go with the X-Men 266.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a book to do. I think you're right. My copy, I have Claremont on mine, and I forget if mine came out a 9.6 or a 9.8.
Yeah.
And if it was a 9.8, I'd be a little skeptical about breaking it out and getting them to sign it. But if it was a 9.6, I'd probably do it.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I think you've got to have the window bags and boards. You got to have that book prepped before it gets cracked out, and give them a nice spot to sign, and see how that goes. Just because if you want to keep that high grade, that should be with almost any artist. Obviously, anyone signing your book and you got a high grade, and it's high grade, high value, you should have that thing prepped for the autograph. Cut that window bag and board out, and that way when the book gets cracked out of the slab, it slides into a nice bag and board. It's got that nice spot already there for the autograph, and so he goes to grab the book. Obviously, he's kind of grabbing the bag and board, hopefully, and not really touching the surface of the book. But yeah, CBA. I don't want to see Rubinstein again. Yeah.
What did I miss? Why doesn't CBA want to see Ruby again?
Who knows? Yeah. Ruby, I know he could be a little rough sometimes, or if you catch him on a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
If you forget to pay him, then that's probably the end of that. You're on his list.
You are. He's always he'll give you a reminder. He's like, that's $15, pal. because you'll go to reach for your books first, and he'll want to like kind of hold it back until you start throwing some cash on his table, and he'd be like, "Oh,
when he starts to hand you the book, he's got to see that cash."
Yeah.
But,
Hey, he's East Coast. He don't play business first, and then we'll party later.
Right.
You got to figure some of these guys probably got that way because they've been skipped out on so many times, or people just kind of bailed on them. That it's like, that's unfortunate. That's how they've got to be to make sure that, hey, they don't get shortchanged. They get paid.
Mm-hmm.
And what was it, Rubinstein? But yeah, he'll do that as far as like you walk up and like, oh, is this getting graded? Is that a witness? Because again, there's more money involved. We want to make sure,
Yeah.
And that's part of the game. But
so I wanted to bring something up that CBA says. He says he met Ruby a few times, and he's a little uptight, a little tense. And you know what, man? Like I agree. I mean, I've caught whiffs of that myself. But you just kind of got to know how to handle him. Like he's a good guy. He's a little bit uptight. If you schmooze him or if you push back a little bit, he kind of mellows out. He lightens up. In the beginning, what I did is I just pushed right back. I forgot what it was. He said something kind of like snappy off the cuff, and I was like, "What?" And then he was just like, "Oh, I didn't mean no offense." And I was like, "All right, cool. I won't take any." And then after that, he just kind of mellowed out. It was fun. And to me, that was funny. And I kind of, ever since I seen him, I go, "Hey, Ruby, what's up, man? You remember me?" And he goes, "No."
No.
But then I just kind of start laughing, and he's just like, "All right, what's up, kid? What do you need?" And it's fine. We just keep it moving from there.
Just breaks the ice right there, and you guys.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now he's
Murph.
to me, he's always been a cool guy. He's always been a nice guy. Little,
Yeah.
he was a little edgy, but nice guy.
Yeah. Hey, Murph, you were mentioning. You said if we move off of Ruby. Did you say anything about? Did you have other books you wanted to show, or you were just wondering what other books?
No,
would you
that
want to
was
get
my
signed?
question. Before you left the Rubinstein topic, what
That's
was
right.
the
What
next
books
book
would
you
you
would get signed by him? And that, I guess my choice would be that 266, as long as Chris Claremont was available the same day. I don't think I would want 266 just signed by Rubinstein and graded. I don't know why. Andy Kubert, that would be another thing. Sure, I would take that signed by just Andy because he's the cover artist. But I'd want something. I don't know. Maybe because I agree with CBA. He's a little. Rubinstein's a little bitchy sometimes. Like he's got his period once in a while.
Yeah. Plus, what is it? Jim Lee's actually. I think Jim Lee's co-creator of. I believe he's
Gambit.
co-creator. Yeah, because I've seen that book signed with Jim Lee as well.
Right.
So I was, so I was like, oh, that's nice. That's nice to know. What else was I going to say? Oh, but that was the main reason why I did that as the Infinity War #4. Because unfortunately, if it was just Rubinstein, the fact that all 4 guys were there, that was a big. It's like, dude, I got to go get them. This is. You got the one book, four Sigs on one book. Even 2 to 3 Sigs is great. 4 Sigs, it's like, just buckle down, pay the money, get that thing done. And even knowing that I was going to have a low grade, I'm like, I didn't care. It's just the idea of having them all on there, and that.
For sure.
I didn't need a 9.8 or whatever, and so that's one of those sentimental books or something.
Earlier, CBA said that he always likes to go see Ebass, Sinkovich, David Mack. That he would love to see those guys again. Quick story about Bill Sinkovich. I've heard a lot of different pronunciations of his name, Sienkiewicz and Sinkiewicz, just like how we're doing Rubinstein and Rubinstein. But I will tell you, he actually has his name spelled out phonetically on his table, and he'll tell you it's Sinkiewicz. That's how he pronounces it. So I do know that one. That one stuck with me.
Yeah, he's a pretty nice guy too, as well. But I've got I've got some other books I can show.
Sure.
This is just flashing back to the first couple episodes we had with some Starankos and Alan Bellman. And again, this goes out as a big thank you to Amazing Murph because I wouldn't have this book without him. Captain America, Sam Wilson, number 13. Murph took care of this for me. Did this book for me a couple years back, many years back.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You know, he got the Alan Bellman, and Alan Bellman put a freaking Cap sketch.
Nice.
Yep.
I'm like, I'm beyond, man. And they got the freaking Steranko on there.
Really nice.
Yeah, so AG, when I handed that book to him, I handed him my book as well. You got a 9.8 too, didn't you, on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. What did you get?
I got a 9.6.
Oh.
So I handed his AG's book to Alan first, and Alan was just like, "Ooh, you got Jimmy on it," he said. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Yeah, you know, I got him. He says, "Do you mind if I do a Captain America sketch in the corner?" And I was just floored. I was like, okay, you know. So he did that for AG, and then I handed him my book, and he's like, "I was just going to sign it and hand it back." I'm like, "Well, where's my Captain America?"
Oh,
Like, I didn't want to ask for it. Like, it was free, you know, but
yeah.
I was like, oh, shit. That was pretty cool. But yeah, I remember doing that for you. That was neat. And then I have you come back at a 9.8. I was like, wow, that's even better.
Thank you. Yeah, that's unbelievable, man. It's phenomenal. Very, very fortunate. See, the other one I can talk about that I was happy to meet, this was back in 2015 for the first time, Joelle Jones. And she's known for writing comic books now, actually being the story, you know, doing the stories, besides the pencils and the ink work. And I'm sure she colors as well. She colors. She does it all now at this point on some comic books. I brought her some sketches, or just some blank sketch comics, because I wanted to see what she charged for doing some artwork. And this is a Superman Unchained #9, and I gave her a reference of a J. Scott Campbell artwork, and she did it in her own way, and I think it's phenomenal. A Superman Unchained #9, and it's a sketch of Supergirl.
Oh, that's really cool looking.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Get that out of the way. Her autograph is right there.
Oh, a little teeny tiny autograph. Look at that.
Yeah, she was just a phenomenal lady to meet. Very nice. And when I approached her, I didn't know what she was going to charge. And these were something like this. This was $80. I want to say this was like $80 a piece. And when I'd gone to some other folks, I approached her. I'm like, oh, 80 is great, or whatever, because some other guys were charging well over 100. And I was like, okay, I'm not getting anything done, not for 100 at that time. But yeah, I mean, she did this for me. I was like, wow. And then I gave her, I got 3 of them done by her. Rocket Raccoon #1. And my wife really digs this one. This is one of her favorites. This is, right after the Guardians of the Galaxy, the first movie came out. So then it's, obviously it's Rocket holding a little baby Groot in a pot,
When he's resprouting.
Yeah. And her
that's cool.
And this one, she said out of the sketches, I mean, she enjoyed them all, but she's like, this one, she's like, I can't wait to do that one. And I didn't have an image or nothing. I just told her what it was. She knew, because the movie had just come out. It's very popular. Guardians of the Galaxy. I said, yeah, Rocket, Rocket holding a Groot in a pot. And she freaking whipped that up. And I was like, oh, that's phenomenal. And then the last one, again, this was the same thing with Rubinstein, where I handed Joelle Jones, I handed her the Joe Quinones Mary Jane Venom variant, and this was her take on it. And this is one of my favorites. So again, the same. I think it's the same comic book. Where did I put that dang book? Yeah, it is ASM. It's the same blank, because I had a couple of these blank ASMs. So ASM #1. This is Joelle Jones' take on the MJ Venom variant.
Oh wow!
So, yeah, I mean, again, you see all the ink work on the lines, and then her little autograph right there. But I mean, this thing is like, I just thought
and you can still see her talent in there. I can still see the character like Lady Killer in that face of MJ right there.
Yeah.
Do you have the root? Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you to do. Perfect. And it's like Ruby's is much closer to the original, like as far as like
yeah.
the positioning,
Exactly. Yeah.
but but you can tell like Ruby's lines are darker. It's a little bit more like of a, how can you say, like a serious tone to it, where the one on your right, like it's more fun. It's kind of a little bit more light. It's got more energy to it, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I was really.
It's just really cool, the two different styles.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's pretty much it for me for now. So I can grab some other books, but
Cool. I probably only have maybe one more book to show that has some ink work on it. I got happy for a second because I thought my mic was working again, but I guess it's still not. There's a commission I got done at Stockton Con a few years back. X-Men #1. It's I called it a battle damage Wolverine that was done by Sean Chen. Sean Chen was a cover artist on some of the later Wolverines from the second series, the first real series. So he started working on issues like right around 160 through 189. He was a cover artist for it. He did an amazing job. I really liked the work he did. I asked him to add the red to the claws, and he did.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. And I got it slabbed as art just in case, because well, not just in case. Actually, I looked at the book to make sure, and sure enough, those inkers, man. So be careful, but it's a beautiful book. I love the way he did it, and almost exactly what I asked for. You know, I mean, and when I don't know about you guys, but when I go and get commissions done by these artists, I don't ask for a lot. I'll just say, hey, I want them in this costume. Do what you want. You know, after that, do what you want. I want them to look a little beat up with his claws out. After that, it's up to you. And they'll ask me more questions, but hey, I'm saying, hey, you know what, guys? You guys are the artists. I believe in you. I trust you. Let me see what you come up with. I'm sure, for the most part, I'm sure I'll be happy, you know?
Yeah.
Do you guys know if Cgc grades as art as well? Or is that just a CBCS thing?
It's just CBCS.
I think it's just CBCS. I don't think I've ever seen a CGC art label.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen one. I see they have that. Yeah.
Maybe they should.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
maybe.
What up, Frost? We got Undisputed Frost joining us.
Let's go in the chat.
Thanks for coming out, buddy.
Hey, Frost. Yeah, thanks for coming out. Looks like Ray.
Oh, let's see. Is Ray in here too?
Yeah, 4-way flashers.
Yep.
CBA. Yeah. I know we said CBA before, but it's always nice to see these guys. Nice to see CBA.
Yeah.
Saw Pope Service earlier.
Yeah, Pope. Oh, was it Pope Service? No, that's right. He's right there. Pope Service. Awesome. Yeah.
How many people in the chat? 8?
It looks like 10.
10.
Wow. That's record number.
Let's see how many more.
It's a record number for our show. Yeah,
I don't
man.
have to go to my toes yet. It's right here. No toe counting. But right on.
Yeah, I would just say,
I do. I love inkers. I really do. Especially now seeing those examples of sketches that you had inkers do. Unbelievable. I mean, I think that's something that I need to. I was always afraid, or not afraid, or hesitant to ask someone to draw something for me, because they always look like they're so busy, or, you know, like the one time I asked, you know, Breeding to just, all I wanted to do was color this thing. His wife was automatically like, no, don't, you know, and he's just like, yeah, I'll do it. And I guess he was nervous because the S is kind of shiny. So he actually took like a wool or like a nylon, like pantyhose or something, and kind of like scuffed up the S a little bit, rubbed it around. But, you know, seeing your examples, God, again, I don't want to spend $300 or $400. You know, obviously you add color and things like that. That's more, and you know, but just, you know, heavy black lines. That's really cool. Like, it's come out awesome.
I've got a couple of color sketches in my collection. I try not to, just because of the cost, the price. The things you got to think about when you go, Murph, and talk to these guys. Usually they'll have 3 sets of prices. They're gonna do a head sketch, a bust, and full body. So, you know, it's going to be increased depending on what you want, right? And then on top of that, like you said, if they just want to lay down pencils, if they're going to do line work like inks, or if they're going to add color. So each one of those things adds a tier in their pricing, and you can always negotiate. Don't feel held hostage to their prices. Just say, hey man, this is what I got. What could you do for me? Like, this is what I'm willing to spend today. This is what's in my budget. What can you work with me on any of this stuff? And sometimes they will, and sometimes they won't. And the other thing that I will say is, it helps to have kids with you. It's hard for them to say no to kids. Now, I will say I don't take advantage of it. I'm not out there, pushing my kids on there saying, hey, this is for them and it's really for me. No, usually every single time I push my kid up there to get something from an artist or an inker or something, it is for them. I really is for them. But just so you know, a lot of times they have a soft spot for kids.
Yeah, I've experienced that. Joey, you guys have all met him. And he had a blank. He was just going to collect autographs, and he's got a few little sketches. Like Rubinstein did a Spider-Man for him, and Ron Lim did an Infinity Gauntlet for him. They would have charged us $10 for it, but they just did it really quick, and because he's a kid and he just moved on. So
awesome.
I understand that, sure.
Yeah, that's cool to see them do that for kids. Definitely.
Yeah, so Frosty says that his old show that they talked about inkers and how much they loved them because they make or break a comic. And yeah, that's exactly what we're trying to do today, is highlight how great inkers are, how they set the tone, how they set the pace, they set the overall mood of the book, and a bad inker will you'll see a picture on the page, you'll see the word bubble, and things won't match depending on the lines they drew. And I've seen examples of comics like that. I think it was Joker's Daughter, the first one where they did the Joelle Dent as the Joker's daughter, and it was the Villains Month for DC. I don't know, maybe 6-7 years ago. And I read the book, and I read it 3 or 4 times, and I was like, did I not get it, or does this book really suck? The book sucked. It was terrible. It wasn't good.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right, Frosty. Absolutely.
I would love to get some more ink works done. I'd like to, once cons kick in again and people show up and things kind of maybe get back to normal, I'd love to walk up to some artists and see what they charge just for doing some, quick sketches on books. And for me, I like it if it's about 100 or less. That's probably where I'm at. That's definitely where I'm at. And I don't even know.
Yeah.
And to mention about those folks again, it's like one guy we've heard of, or at least I've heard of, and I know it's through Murph and through a lot of other folks, is Ken Lashley, right? Ken Lashley's probably one of the best guys out there. I mean, I've missed him at cons. That's on me. But the fact that you walk up to him and say, I've only got $20, and he'll do what he believes is $20 worth, or he'll do a really nice sketch for you for $20.
Right. They're not crap either.
Doesn't turn away people. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know you've had the pleasure of meeting them against some stuff.
Anybody you guys would like to meet? Like, so let's say, this whole thing is over now. Con season's starting to get back up in full swing. And I don't mean just get a signature from, but now that we've seen, some of the sketches in our collection, and again, if it's reasonable, who would you like to have a piece done by?
Yeah, wow. Obviously, I would love to have a John Romita Sr. sketch. Few things aren't going to happen. A, he's not going to go to a con. And B, I'm sure he would charge $1 bazillion for it. CGC has just posted Mark Bagley for the sketch and for the signing. And then if you want just like a little doodle thing, like literally like a Rob Liefeld Deadpool balloon figure, it looked like he wanted $50 for it or something like that.
Yeah, I'll have to look again. I thought it was
Come on, man.
I thought he was charging $110 for a Sinatra remark or something. I'll have to look again though. But yeah,
that's the other thing. You're right.
Little doodle.
Remarks are popular. You're right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Get a sketch. I don't know. It would have to be Spidey. For me, it'd have to be someone who is, done work on Spider-Man, I guess. And it would have to be a Spidey character. Like, I'm curious why you chose Joelle Jones for that MJ sketch.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Well, because I dig her artwork, and I've followed her ever since I've discovered her doing the Lady Killer, and then when I first discovered Lady Killer, and I like that artwork. I like her style. And then after checking out Lady Killer, I realized that she's obviously done other things as well. She did, I believe, Helheim, which is like a Viking, Norwegian type story type thing. And so the Helheim thing, that was pretty nice. And sorry, I got my wife's over here dancing for me. Distraction.
Whoa.
Okay, babe.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's
Booty shorts.
Hey,
Booty shorts.
AG's gonna catch an HR charge pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna. Yeah, the HR's coming for me. But no, she was phenomenal. She was great. I thought I only met her. I just met her the one time. I didn't get a chance to meet her a second time. I would love to. I mean, that's another. I wouldn't mind meeting her again and seeing if she could do some type of sketching and what she might charge. Joelle Jones, and I mean, as Murph mentioned, I mean, if Romita was doing something, if John Romita was doing something that we can mail in a book, and didn't seem he was charging too much, even for a little freaking remark, I'd be all over it because it's freaking Romita Senior. The other folks I could think of that I'd want to meet and see if they do anything would be maybe like a Walt Simonson, or if I even had the pleasure of meeting Joe Gila again.
A Simonson would be great because oftentimes at the cons he's there with his wife. Which really quickly is just a great transition to Four-Way Flasher's question. He says, do you guys have any jam pieces? And by jam pieces, he means like collaborated pieces that multiple artists have worked on. And other than Murph's book,
that's what I want to get next. Like I want to, have you seen those guys do it? Like E-Rod, you've got the four squares, man.
Yes.
You get Spidey, you get a nice Spidey head here, and you could put other Spidey characters, like 3 more. That's my goal. That's my goal. I think the next time cons start kicking in, and
I agree.
After seeing these sketches and these remarks, it's like for me, I think that's the next step. That's the next step beyond the autographs, man. Autographs are cool. I got to start looking at maybe some pieces here and there. Looking at some artwork, looking at some sketches, especially after those beautiful. The
only thing that I personally I would have to think about in order to get that done for me is do I want to spend the money to get it slabbed every single time, or are there going to be 4 artists there that I could use, quick back to back to back? Maybe I can get it all done in one day, So
possibly one
day. You got to plan those things out.
Yeah, or a 2-day. If you go to the con for 2 days and then you get them on it, maybe you get them knocked out. Yeah, I think they tend to get knocked out pretty quick. There's not a lot of colors involved. I mean, they do a Spider-Man pretty damn fast.
Yeah.
Right. He's got a nice X-Men. E-Rod has a nice X-Men one going, and he's shown it a few times, like either on his channel or in a private chat, and it's not slabbed yet. But and I'm not sure if it's ever going to be. It might end up just being maybe a CBCS art when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
Unless there's a way. He has paperwork or something like that. Maybe it was. I don't know. I don't know how you can do that.
So it was a little bit easier back in the day. CBCS has tightened up the rules a little bit ever since they got bought out by Beckett. And you know what? I'll get into that explanation in just a second. But I want to just highlight and say what's up to Davis Comic Finds, who finally got the chance to join us after working hard and installing all kinds of water heaters and pumps and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us, buddy. Just wanted to highlight you and give you a chance to say hello and catch up with us.
So what all you guys shown? I haven't been watching or anything.
Oh my God, we've shown so much.
Rubinstein, Joelle Jones, Murph showed some Rubinstein as well. I got some Neil Adams, some Denny O'Neil. But another guy, Terry Austin, I know we just threw out some names earlier, like we talked about in the very beginning, like what's a great 1-2 punch? Jack Kirby, Joe Sinnott, Jack Kirby, Chick Stone. Anybody that followed Jack Kirby. Oh, there you go. Oh, see, there's a Wolverine.
That's nice. That's very nice.
That's
wow.
Person.
Oh, Davis.
And Davis is a Spidey guy. Cholula's like, trade me, bro. Cholula's like, I'll buy that from you. No.
Yeah, I'll go and get a really nice Spidey done, and we'll trade one of these days, Davis.
He froze up again, didn't he? God,
Yeah, I thought he was going to be hardwired this time.
Maybe. I'll throw a shout out to Undisputed Frost. Undisputed Frost mentioned he'd like to get another sketch from Stan Sakai. Heck yeah, bro.
Oh yeah.
Sakai, that's another guy. I mean, that's a phenomenal gentleman. And when he signed a lot of books, he'd do a quick little Usagi Yojimbo or a turtle. But to actually get him do like an actual sketch,
that would be cool.
Work up some cash, that would be nice. Definitely.
But,
hopefully Davis one froze. There's Davis.
I do have a hamster wheel. It's actually plugged in to the wall now. So, golly.
All right.
So I was explaining a little while ago. Murph brought up, that, it might be kind of tough unless you can figure out a way how to do it across multiple cons. So CBCS before was a little bit more lenient in that if you knew you were going to take your book to multiple cons and you were your own witness, I believe it was like up to 3 months. So if a con was within 3 months of itself, you could just have multiple paperwork for each con that you went to and turn the book in. However, now you have to be you can't just be a personal witness. You have to be like an authorized dealer to be able to do that. So they kind of took that privilege away. But from what I understand, you can still kind of do it, but I don't think that I can. So I was able to, what did we do? We did Silicon Valley Comic Con and then San Francisco Con, which was about almost exactly 3 months apart. And that's how I got Rubinstein, Ruby on a couple of books, as well as like Wolfman and Starlin and Lim. So it was kind of cool because I got like multiple SIGs on books, and that's how I was able to do it. But ever since CBCS got taken over by Beckett, some of those rules kind of tightened up and some of those privileges went away. So I don't know. We'll see if anything changes in the future, but it's still possible to get some stuff done,
Yeah. I think when it comes to one of those jam pieces, I'd probably just see if you can get 4 of them on the front cover, and it'd be fantastic. If you're going to a con at least for 2 days, possibly 3, go to the con for a couple of days. The first day you get in there, if you already know, you got a list of the folks who are going to be there. If you could get to that artist first and say, hey, do me a quick little head sketch over here, and then you could go to the next guy and so forth and so on. That'd be fantastic. I mean, that'd be something to get done. Then you'd only submit it once and get it graded, but
I think it'd be cool to like get a Sinister Six.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, hell yeah! Then you start making like the
maybe the original variation.
Little small ones. Davis has
something that I started doing recently is I got this oversized book here, and I'll just to show you how big it is in relative to a normal size comic.
Oof.
This is a normal size comic right here, and this is how big this oversized book is. And it's got a lot of cover art in it, and I took it around to a recent con, and I got it. I got a bunch of artists to do just to sign pages of artwork that they've worked on, and do little remarks.
Yeah.
So this thing's heavy as heck. So we got Art Adams over here, and it's right over Longshot, but you can see the little remark that he did right there.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Maybe I should. I'm just gonna blow it up real quick since.
Yeah, blow it up.
Blow it up, man.
So he did Longshot, little starry eye that he has there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let me see. I had a couple more in here. I thought it might take me a while to find them. Oh, here's one. Nope. I'm gonna go back to the chat right now. Oh, hold on. I think I'll go back to the chat till I find a good one.
Your back must have killed yourself lugging that thing around the cons.
Yep, it did. It did.
That's why you have kids.
Right. That's true, Davis. That's true.
They make things tough sometimes, Davis.
Oh.
Until they get about your son's age, Murph, then they start helping out.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But things are kind of, I think, winding down for us guys. Is there anything else that anybody wants to bring up or show off?
No, if we're just sticking with the topic of hand of Rubinstein and stuff like that, you guys had already shown your Sinnotts and stuff on your first episode, I think, right? Who's another fantastic inker himself. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
All right.
I got a box to open.
Yeah. And you're gonna do an unboxing?
Let's see that box.
Oh, cool.
We can do
Let's see
that later if you want. You guys want to see it?
Yeah,
I don't know. It feels it's a size of a box that you literally could probably put 17 slabs in here, but it feels like there's nothing in here. But yeah, if you want me to open, I'll open it. Don't matter.
Open it, man. Might be full of popcorn.
Might be. You got peanuts in here?
Yeah, popcorn peanuts. That stuff you like.
So this is my friend AG Surfer had kindly reached out to me, and he's like, "Hey, my bro is selling some books," and he showed me some pictures. So what do I do when he says that? Because I'm from the East Coast.
Oh,
I reach out to Tat, and I'm like, "Tat, what the hell are you selling?" He looks at me, he goes, "I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, man." But it's not me. And then I had to realize that, oh wow, we got some goody gifts in here. That bro was, slang for friend. And
That was
so I got
my buddy Eddie that Cholula met.
Yep. Seemed like a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
what do I got here? I got a t-shirt or something like that? What's in here? Oh, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, happy belated birthday, bro.
How fucking cool is that? Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's pretty dope. Happy late birthday, Murph.
That's badass. Holy shit. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Wow.
I stumbled across those, and I was like, the first guy I thought it was Murph.
Oh, wow. Matching sets. So me and Joe, huh?
Yep. Father and son, baby.
Nice.
That's really cool.
Oh, wow. That's badass. Thank you. Thank you so much.
More welcome, bro.
Anyways, oh, Jesus Christ. What the fuck? There's another box in here. All right. So we'll open this one up here. All right. Did you make this little tube yourself?
No, I ordered some stuff, and it came in that little box.
Oh, wow. Not bad. I'll have to see.
I was able just to put it back in the box. I got 2 copies. Got one for myself.
Holy fuck. Are you kidding me? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Check that out, guys. Check out that print of Ahsoka Tano. Somebody that I'm super excited to see come to, like Disney Plus, or I don't want to call it the Star Wars Cinematic Universe. We can call that.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
That's really cool.
So, tell me about this Jason Oakes. Do you know who this Jason Oakes is, or is he?
I stumbled across him on Instagram, and when I seen he was selling these prints, I was like, "Oh man, I was digging those prints." And it just seemed to make sense to get, with the shipping that was involved. It seemed to make sense to get 2. I wanted one for myself, and I was like, I know the other guy that loves that is Murph.
Yeah. Wow, that thing's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous. Wow. Thanks, man.
No problem.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, this is something that I could take to a convention, and I can have what the hell's her name? Ashley Eckstein or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Sign, the voice. Or, it's potentially Rosario Dawson looking as well.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, there's the likeness. He couldn't make it
Um,
exact because then there's some copyright infringement or
right.
yeah, there's some
Oh
issues.
wow, that thing's gorgeous. Wow.
Right
Where's
on.
gonna? Oh, thank you. That's too much right there. But anyways, now to the reason why I thought I was getting the box, and I'm like, dude, why is the box so big? I mean, it's just one little book, and this is a book that I've had 3 times, and I've sold them all 3 times, and I was kind of bummed that I didn't have it anymore, and I felt like it should be, especially if you were a collector in the '90s, the '80s, late '80s, '90s. It's a book that you should probably have in your collection because it's just iconic. And fuck, we got something else in there. Oh, it's just like a Marvel previews. This thing, what the hell? What is going on with this thing? This Strange Academy thing. What's going on with this thing right now?
That's blowing up.
It's like Doctor Strange's version of Uncanny X-Men. He's
All
got
right.
his school for gifted, magicians or wizards, and I believe that's what that's about. There's a lot of new characters in there, I guess, that they may do something with.
Wow, top loader and everything. But anyways, here's the book. Here's the suspense. Killing
nice.
Joke #1. First print. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, first print right there.
Yep.
And it's in really, 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 really high grade.
Yeah.
It's a 9.8 candidate all day
Definitely.
long. But
yeah.
Thanks for the top loader. You want me to send that back to you? You good?
No, God. If there was Mylar involved, I want my Mylar back, but not the top loader.
Yeah, definitely. If Mylar was involved, I'd just probably have to PayPal you like a couple bucks.
$1.50.
Yeah, wow, this is really awesome. I tell your buddy thanks, and it looks awesome. Appreciate it. Wow,
that's cool, man.
Yeah, wow, awesome. Thank you.
From what I hear, that one's gonna grade pretty high.
It should.
I think it will definitely. Just looking at it without, I haven't checked out the back or anything like that. Yeah. The front's definitely a 9.8 candidate for sure.
Nice,
for sure.
Yeah, I was checking it out at his place. He had there was 2 books, and he's like, "This is the one." He's like, "Okay, this is probably has a shot at a 9.8 as well. It's only got this one little issue on it, or there's this book." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll take the book with no issues." And at that point too, he's like, "Take it out and look at it." And here's a set of gloves. So we put on a nice set of gloves. Because he knows. Even he's like, "Dude, this is a black cover." I said, "I get that." I'll take a look at. I want you to look at both of them, and then you pick the best one.
Oh yeah, Murph. This guy is he's a serious collector. He knows his stuff. I got to have. I met up with him and AG. He lives in my area. He lives really close to me actually. So AG came down to meet him, and we all hooked up and had lunch. And it was the first time I ever met him. And this guy's serious. He knows his stuff. And he sounds like he has some really good books.
Well, he's got.
Is this the guy with the big Spidey collection too? Or is that Tommy?
Collection, Tommy doesn't have. Tommy's only got a couple books. My buddy Tony has got a big Spidey collection. He's almost complete on his Spideys. My buddy Ed, his Spideys are complete from 1 to 700, and then he's got his X-Men's complete from 1, I think it's to 566. His Avengers are damn near complete as well. He's working on FFs. He only needs a few more for FF. Wow. Yeah,
Davis frees up. He ain't moving.
Oh,
I thought he was back. That's why I put him back up.
He's not moving. Davis, you alive?
Oh, Davis. Water heaters. That water heater messed him up, man.
That now.
That's hard labor. that water heater. Oh, there he is. There he's moving.
All right, well, I'm glad Davis is moving now because we're just about a little over an hour and 40 minutes now. So I think we're starting to wind down. I just wanted to say thank you so much to AG Surfer, Amazing Murphinator, Davis for the couple seconds you were able to join us here and there, and Tap Comics who joined us early on, and unfortunately had to go to work today. I'm gonna let everybody say their hellos and goodbyes and thank yous. I'll start off with AG.
All right, yeah. Hey, definitely thanks again. Thanks for the guys. Thanks for all the folks showing up in the chat. Thanks for the guys coming up on the panel. I brought out quite a bit of books because I wasn't sure if it was just going to be me and Cholula. I thought, okay, we got to carry this for hours. And then Kat jumps on. That's a fantastic surprise. I don't necessarily recommend that to anybody who's driving out there, but if you do,
Not a good idea.
stay safe. I won't I can't support that, but stay safe. And again, thanks for everyone showing up. It's phenomenal. These shows are a blast. They're great. I love coming on here with you guys, and then having Davis and Murph, fantastic. Thank you.
All right, Murph, I'm gonna skip you real quick because we got Davis on. His internet's working right now, so let me just highlight Davis and
Internet's working. Who knows how last?
All right, maybe it's not working. I'm going back to you, Murph.
Yeah,
Look at that.
it's terrible.
Gorgeous.
Man.
Oh my God.
Terrible.
All right, Murph, it's on you, buddy.
All right, guys. Yeah. Appreciate everyone coming out. All 15 of you. That was awesome. It's just cool, really, to shoot the breeze. And I had a censor because Davis is live with us, and he doesn't like us cussing all that much. But
That's always good.
yeah, we'll shoot the breeze, and it was a good time. And CVA and Pope Service was there, and Gomez was there, and Four-Way was there, and some guy from Japan earlier was from there, and it was cool. It was really neat, and we just talked comics, and so we had a topic. I think we tried to stick with it. We probably went off a little bit, where we're doing.
We're always going to. We're always going to a little bit.
We're always going to stray a little bit, right?
Little
And
bit.
maybe next week we'll do colorist or something like that. I don't know.
We don't get paid for this, so we have to.
Right.
Hey, Murph, depending on how
I've
many
got
of
some
these
color
we have,
guides if I can get my internet to work.
Uh-oh.
depending on how many of these we have, depends on how much we're going to stray. But anyways.
True. We're going to stray in a minute, though.
All right, Davis, take 2. Action.
It'll probably
you're missing.
stop.
No, go.
Yeah, we can do colors next week if I can get my internet to work. I've got some color guides. Just actually got some in, so.
All right.
But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I checked out some on a little bit earlier. Yeah, good show.
Cool.
James.
All right, and then again, just a huge shout out to the chat. We had Undisputed Frost, Airborne Sapper, Gomez, everybody Broski, my Broski, Pub Service the First. I know earlier we had Four-Way Flashers, ton of people that were here to join us and really appreciate it. People were jumping in and out. CBA, of course, Azor's Tiger, who's a new face, and thank you so much for coming out and supporting. Sith Lordly, I believe you've been watching us for a couple of shows now, so really appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Spidey fan and anybody else that I may have missed. Thank you guys all for coming out and joining us. Huge shout out and thank you to all my brothers on the panel here with me. Of course, AG Surfer, Davis, and Amazing Murphinator, and Tat Comics that we had earlier. So again, thank you everybody for joining us, and hopefully we'll get a chance to do it again next week. So you already know who it is. It's Cholula's Comics on this Sigs, Slabs, and Con Talk. Until we see you next time, keep stacking hella comics.